Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a lap guide for Trial Mountain with the Toyota Supra Group 4, and we're on the racing medium tires. This is with BOP on, tuning disabled except for brake balance, so we can adjust that, and for that I have the brake balance all the way to the rear of the car, so it is at +5. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the lap shifting when the bar fills up. And go ahead and bring yourself towards the right side of the track. For turn number 1, you're braking shortly after the yellow barrier on the right starts, and as you start to brake, you'll be turning in at the same time. So this barrier right here is the one that I'm talking about, but I don't brake right there. I brake just after it starts. So right here I use around 25% braking and I start to turn in right away. Just trying to maintain as much speed as possible, keeping the right wheels on the blue and white curbs, and then just doing a little bit of throttle control, trying to maintain that speed. Then you're going to turn in right around here, and you're going to try to go through this turn flat out, but you might need to do a little lifting off of throttle to make sure that you don't understeer off the track. And again, just trying to maintain as much speed as possible. Around 127 miles per hour is the goal here. Then brake just as the barrier on the right is about to end, so you're at nearly full braking power for a very short moment and you turn in right away. Going on to third gear, and you want to be a bit confident with getting on the throttle, so right here this is where I start to accelerate, just going flat out, making use of the width of the track. Bring yourself towards the left and you're braking before you pass the yellow sign that is on the left. That sign is your turning point. Going out to second gear for more rotation, but exit on third gear, and you want to be careful getting on the throttle as it's really easy for the car to step out over here. Then bring yourself towards the left and you're braking with a curb on the left ends, opening up a little bit for this right turn, and you can stay on third gear. And just be nice and careful getting on the throttle as you want to stay towards the right side of the track. And your next braking point is just as you enter the tunnel, so right around here, this is where you start to brake and turn in at the same time. So around 50% braking power for a very short moment, trying to bring yourself all the way to the left side of the track and then get on the throttle as soon as you can, and you can exit on fourth gear. That way you don't have to do a gear change just as you enter the back straight. And here, when you're going into 6th gear, you might want to rev it out a little bit before changing into 6th gear. Yeah, here I rev it out just a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. Next braking point is the sign on the right. So you're braking right as you pass it. Full braking power, turning in before the curb on the right ends. And you're going to go down to 3rd gear. Some people might do 2nd gear, but here I'm just staying on 3rd gear, and you're looking for the boulder on the left as that's pretty much your apex, and that's where you want to get on the throttle as soon as you can, making use of the entire width of the track. Going flat out through here, but bring yourself towards the left and you're braking just as you're about to reach the broken trunk of the tree that is on the left. Full braking power for a short moment. Going on to 2nd gear for more rotation. Exit on 3rd gear and carefully get on the throttle. Another really easy spot for the car to step out over here. Then you're braking when you're halfway down this hill, and just as you reach the bottom of the hill, that's where you start to turn in. So right here I'm starting to turn in, going on to 3rd gear. Some people might do 2nd gear for more rotation, but here I'm just simply staying in 3rd gear. And just be nice and careful getting on the throttle. Another really easy spot for the Supra to want to spin out on. Now for the final braking zone, so I'm looking for this specific blank area that is on the left. So this is shortly after the curb on the right starts, so bit of a reference of exactly where I'm starting to brake. So full braking power, going on to 1st gear, and you're turning in when the curb on the right ends. And you're kind of going to try to park it on this left turn. Go up to 2nd gear as you exit the left turn, and just be really careful getting on the throttle. Shift up to 3rd gear as you go to the right turn, doing a little bit of lifting off of the throttle to make sure that you don't spin out, and then just try to exit as quickly as possible. And again, just being really careful with your throttle input, as it's really easy to spin out over there. Alright, so we'll go through this again, but this time I'm not going to stop the video. So looking for the barrier on the right, so the yellow barrier, braking shortly after I start to pass it, and just trying to be careful with the brakes, trying to maintain as much speed as possible, a little bit of throttle control through here, try to reach around 127 miles per hour through that left kink, braking before the barrier on the right ends, the yellow barrier that is. Then bring us up towards the left, looking for that sign, as that sign is my next braking point. Second gear for more rotation. Exit on third gear, and just be really careful getting onto throttle. Really easy for the Supra to want to step out over there. And just try to stay towards the right side of the track, braking when the tunnel starts. And just trying to be really confident with the throttle input, but don't get on the throttle too early, as you'll end up hitting the wall if you get on the throttle way too early. And going into 6th gear, gonna rev it out just a little bit before I shift up. So you don't need to go all the way, just a little bit shortly after the bar fills up. Looking for the sign on the right, as that's the next braking point, going on to 3rd gear for more rotation. Looking for the boulder on the left, as that's my cue to start to get on the throttle. You can go flat out through here, but look for the broken tree trunk on the left as you're braking before you pass it. 2nd gear for more rotation, 3rd gear as you exit the turn. Just being really careful on the throttle, brake when you're halfway down the hill. And here you can go down to 2nd gear for more rotation, but 3rd gear is fine for me. And for the final chicane, you're braking shortly after the curb on the right starts, going out to 1st gear, and kind of just parking it on this first half of the chicane, being really careful on the throttle. Go up to 3rd gear as you exit the chicane, and just try to straighten up the car as soon as you can. And with this, I was able to get a 157.683. So there we go. So not too bad of a lap, as you know, I'm a little rusty right now, but hopefully this lap guide helped you out. And that's gonna be it for this video. So this is Mr. MC8, the world's most okay player, and I'll see you in the next video.